Good morning, folks. My name is Chris Chandler, and I'm president of PFL. We hope that everyone had a fantastic weekend. Folks, a lot of stuff happening out there right now. Everyone is selling everything. And the US dollar continues to get stronger and stronger. The Dow closed lower on Friday of last week and was down 1,232.01 points a week over week. The S&P closed lower on Friday of last week and was down 180.1 points week over week. The Nasdaq closed lower on Friday of last week and was down week over week 580.47 points. In overnight trading, Dow futures traded lower and are expected to open down this morning 111 points. West Texas WTI closed down $4.75 per barrel on Friday of last week, or 5.7%, to settle at $78.74 per barrel, down $6.37 per barrel week over week. U.S. commercial crude inventories increased by 1.1 million barrels week over week. U.S. crude inventories are a mere 2% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Total motor gasoline inventories increased by 1.6 million barrels week over week and are 5% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Distillate fuel inventories increased by 1.2 million barrels week over week and are 18% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Looking a little bit better out there, folks, for heating oil. Propylene and propane inventories increased by 3.3 million barrels week over week and are 2% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Propane prices were down 1 cent per gallon week over week, closing out the week at $1.05 per gallon, down 24 cents per gallon year over year. Folks, it does not look as though we are in a panic mode as it relates to propane storage. We are almost at the 5-year average propane-wise for this time of year. We are heading into a winter with what it seems to be adequate storage. We go into a lot of detail and of course have charts for you to review as it relates to pricing and inventory levels that you will find of interest. We also dive into natural gas in today's report. You have to read PFL's just rail report. Oil is lower in overnight trading and WTI is poised to open down 19 cents per barrel from Friday's close. Total North American weekly rail volumes were down 1.54% in week 37 compared to the same week last year. 6 of AAR's 11 major categories posted year-over-year increases. The most significant decrease came for other, which was down 12.85%. The largest increase was from motor vehicle and parts, which was up 25.6%. North American rig count was up by 5 rigs week over week. U.S. rig count was up by 1 rig week over week and up by 243 rigs year over year. The U.S. currently has 764 rigs. Canada's rig count was up by 4 rigs week over week and up by 57 rigs year over year. Canada's overall rig count was 215 active rigs. Overall, year over year, we are up 296 rigs collectively. Folks, we are watching a few things out there worth noting. Crude by rail out of Canada, which was down 17,965 barrels per day month over month. The White House is still competing with Canadian crude. Oh boy. We go into a lot of detail in today's rail report and a chart, of course, for your viewing pleasure. We are watching the Class 1's head count and their hiring. STB data is out for August. The total number of workers rose to 117,014 workers, up 2% year over year. Hopefully service will improve improved service we believe will have an effect on rail demand, as quite a few companies have taken extra cars just to keep their plants in service, and will lead to more turns and thus fewer cars in the fleet, although time will tell. See PFL's rail report as it relates to headcount. We have chartered and tracked every Class 1. We are watching Hurricane Ian. See PFL's rail report for the latest. Folks, we do these reports all for you, and they are absolutely free. Please pass on to friends and colleagues. Not only do we dive into more detail as discussed in today's podcast, we also summarize the latest petroleum by rail numbers, talk about refinery runs, overall petroleum import and export numbers, and of course we have the latest pricing for all railcar types. You can't afford not to read this week's rail report. Bottom line, a lot of great information and a lot of fancy graphs. In fact, we have 34 of them in today's report. I'm not kidding, folks. 34 graphs and charts for you to look at. If you like what you see, please email squad@pflpetroleum.com. Again, that's squad@pflpetroleum.com. We love the feedback. We really love receiving feedback, positive or negative. We're thick-skinned at PFL, so don't worry if you hurt our feelings. We will learn from it. I will be in Kansas this week attending the KCS Shortline Conference. If you are there, please give me a call, my cell at 239-405-3365. Again, that's 239-405-3365. PFL has been very active in railcar storage, return on lease strategy, subleasing, mobile repair, flaring, cleaning, and mobile scrapping. Although scrapping is not what it used to be given the drop in steel prices. Folks, we're looking for work. Call PFL now. You won't regret putting PFL to work. We'll guarantee to save you money and in time. If we can't, we simply won't take on the job. Our number on the desk, of course, is 239-390-2885. Again, that's 239-390-2885. And have a great week. And thanks for listening to this podcast. And please read the PFL Rail Report. Over and out, folks.